YouTube, um, Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast needs from. It's your boy Karan Cadell, also known as KC, live back again with another edition of Sports Talk with KC. And up for you guys tonight, I have the Alabama Steel versus Alabama Charger game review. Um, really intense game. Could have went both ways, but before we take a deep dive into the review of the Alabama Steel versus the Chargers game, please like, share, subscribe to Titletown TV, as well as comment on this videos and the many videos we have in our archive on Titletown TV on YouTube. Um, we'll be here each and every Wednesday night, as always, with Sports Talk with KC. Let's get into the game. This weekend, Saturday, the Alabama Steel took on the Alabama Chargers out of Birmingham and beat them 18 to 14. Um, to start the game off, the Steel started the game off real hot on offense. Quarterback Davion Seastrunk had a great game. Opened the game up. He had went 7 for 9 for 75 yards and a touchdown to go along with 10 carries for 34 yards. It just seemed like when he was in the game, the team really rallied behind him and was really excited to see him make plays with his feet and as well as in the passing game. Obviously, he had a great game through the air. Found former counter high receiver Jeremy Prince on a early game touchdown in the first half. Um, really clutch touchdown. They came into where still was starting to slip a little bit, but they finally got the momentum. Two clutch back-to-back receptions by Jeremy Prince. Um, a 17 yarder and a 20 yarder touchdown to go along with the first down. So you got that game as well. Um, normal, a normal, another County High alum, Woody Layton, had 6 carries for 22 yards, and all those carries was pretty much in the fourth quarter where the Steel needed him to seal the game for them. Late game, as they were driving, they were able to force a turnover after a Jeremy Hunter sack on the quarterback to seal the game, 18 to 14. Uh, for the most part, they still played exceptional. They had got the game. They got a little lax. They got um, little laid back. You know what I'm saying? They had the game going really handily. You know what I'm saying? They were, what both teams were playing pretty physical. And when the Steel had the momentum, you felt it on the sideline, in the stands, on the field, all that. The Steel are the real deal. They are definitely one of the teams to be looking out for in this semi-pro season. Um, they have some other great athletes. Speaking of which, Calvin Street had 2 receptions and 2 catches, all of which resulted in a first down. Um, to where the Steel needed some momentum going, keep the ball rolling for him, as they say. Um, just just 4 great plays. Every time he got the ball in his hand, he made some great plays. Also, it's a little bit of a returner for them guys for the Steel, so be on the lookout for him later as the season go on. Like I mentioned earlier, Jeremy Hunter had a sack to force the fourth down to seal the game for the Steel, an early game sack as well. And he also contributed on offense with a 5 yard touchdown run, which I think was the first touchdown of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So got the ball rolling for the Steel early. Yes, yeah, the first touchdown of the game. Jeremy Hunter, fullback, defensive tackle, defensive end for the Steel. Was another one of the great players to look out for. Um, the Steel, they are definitely one of the better um, semi-pro teams who are in the AFF. Just looking to get some guys a chance to further their career, um, or whether they came from high school or pro, me or college. Just another chance for them to get to where they need to be or they want to be, as far as playing football as a for the future. Um, Also, I have receiver slash defensive back, uh, Jarius Love. He had a late second quarter fumble recovery for a touchdown that made the score 18-6. Also, had an interception that got called back. No one ever wants their plays they make to be called back, um, ever. And so, just seeing an interception, a critical interception, be called back like that, it hurts. But he definitely made up for it with his fumble recovery late in the second quarter to give the steal, going into the second half edge, the momentum going into the second half. Be on the lookout for him on defense as well as offense. He plays some receiver as well, and then we have defensive back number 33, Taiwan Duck Jones, who completely shut down his side of the field. Didn't allow any touchdowns. Not very many yards. I don't remember. Um, but yeah, man, those are a few players that I want y'all to get to know and come out and support. The many more. I'll be learning new um, this team as well. They've been around for a while. Will Ladies has been around the semi pro circuit for a while, as well as Jeremy Prince, and some more guys in that team. Um, C Strunk is the first year starter. They were out their former quarterback, Jacob, at the moment. Um, but yeah, C Strunk is definitely doing his thing as far as being a quarterback for the Alabama Steel, um, with his legs and feet. Next week they'll be taking on the Alabama Silverbacks at County High as well at 6:30 this weekend. I think they're out of Hill County, if I'm not mistaken, Greensboro. Um, but yeah, man, come check out a local matchup and see some of your former stars of Tuscaloosa, Hale County, and surrounding areas. Um, Play ball, man. Come out, support your steel. I'm a local team. Um, that was my review of the game. I enjoyed the game. I can't wait to go back to another one. Uh, like I mentioned before. Um, yeah, man. Let's get into a little basketball. There's been a lot of talks about since All Star break. It seems about LeBron James and the Lakers and whether to trade him or not, and how he wants to finish his career, and the possibility of him going back to Cleveland. Um, and here's my take on it. I really think ultimately they do not trade him. He does finish his contract out with the Lakers and does sign with whoever drafts his son. I don't see them trading him. I think they can continue to win around him. Well, they haven't won very much this year, but they could maybe make a deep playoff run this next season, possibly this season. We never know how the playoffs turn around with with injuries and stuff like that. But I know, far as anybody who's leading that team is not LeBron James. Um, LeBron isn't completely the reason why they're not winning. It's not always on Westbrook as well. A guy who, um, from what I've heard earlier, him and the team uh, are both looking to move him in this summer, whether it's through trade or waiving him or whatever. Um, and I'm sure there's gonna be some people who wants to sign Westbrook or trade for him at the right price. Um, Maybe it's a team that plays in LA as well, Clippers. They could be just a point guard away, and him and Paul George have their history from going back when they played together in OKC years ago. Him and Kawhi Leonard are both LA kids, so maybe they had that dynamic going on, playing for their hometown team and doing something. They're definitely a point guard needed team. Um, Maybe mm, they trade him to maybe a young team who can maybe be that veteran who has like a young point guard or just guard in general, coming up, like Detroit. Like him and Kate Cunningham could do some things together. Um, and both are bigger guards, so they can play either position. You can keep Cade at the two and still have him ball dominant, and maybe Rush can play off of that. He's not very good off the ball, unfortunately, but I'm sure as the older he get, he's gonna make that switch to where he isn't that guy to just completely dominate the ball like he has in the past. Um, he's definitely regressing this season, and hopefully makes that turn to where he can make that decision to where like, oh, let me not try to dominate the ball so much, or be, you know what I'm saying, do that rush ball, you know, as we know him do back in OKC. Um, let's see who else. What's another team out there for Rush to go to? Maybe I don't know. Maybe go back to OKC. You know, and power up that bench. You know, Josh Giddey and Shea Gildress Alexander are two top young guards in the league right now, and he can come off the bench and back those guys up and give them better leadership and bring some spark to that OKC bench as they continue to rebuild that team from their days of Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden. They're a long way from what they were back then, perennial playoff contenders. But they definitely have the draft capital to make some noise. Some nice young players. Kendrick Williams can help any of the contenders out. Um, Derek Favors, if he's I can't remember if he's still on the team or not. A guy like that could definitely the veteran that could help out uh, these playoff teams next season. Just name a few guys like that. Um, let's see. The Knicks, they're in a weird place where they were a playoff season, like with a playoff, made the playoffs last season, and now they're right outside the playoffs or close to what I'm saying, taking the season, whatever. So they're in a weird position. So maybe getting a guy like Russell Westbrook to go along with Obi Toppin and R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. Not sure what they're gonna do with him, but yeah, man, just another one of those nice guard to bring to New York could possibly help them out. Mm, yeah, but I don't like I mentioned before. I don't see them trading LeBron James or whatever. Uh, Speaking of Bronny, I know a lot of people right now has him as a second round pick. He has yet to. He's in his junior season, and he's playing one of the top players in the country. So maybe next season, his senior season could be more of his year where he did that guy, and what I'm saying, he's improves on his stats, improves on his all around game, and gets drafted early. And we'll see where LeBron goes from there. Anthony Davis, hopefully he can just stay healthy at this point. Um, and if he has people calling for him, thinking that he's their answer to their team, and they got the right players, young players especially, to bring over, then come on. I'm sure they're listening to offers. Um, what else? I have a new mock out right now. I'm gonna finish editing and later on, but I could give y'all a sneak peek of it real quick. Um, Just a quick little sneak peek of my top 10. Give me 1 second. If y'all have any sports questions, please ask them in the comment box. Um, I'm always free to talk. Y'all want to be on the show? Got some hot takes for me? Y'all feel like I'm incorrect about you guys' team or the way I feel about them, or have any questions about my teams? Um, you know, I definitely want to get to a point where I have a type of game show feel to this episode one day. So I'm not sure how many wrestling fans I have out watching right now, but AEW just purchased ROH Ring of Honor. That's made the news right now in the wrestling world. All right, let's get into this. All right, I'm still at my number one pick. I have the Jaguars selecting Evan Neal with the first overall pick, left tackle out of Alabama. 6'7", 200, I mean 350 pounds. Uh, can move, can play all across the offensive line. Uh, the Jaguars just drafted Trevor Lawrence, number one overall, so they definitely need to protect him. We do have two high end edge rushers on top of my board. Aiden Hudson and Kayvon Thibodeau, two guys who each can go 1-2 in the draft. But they have a bigger need at offensive tackle, and I'm sure they can get edge rusher or some D line help at the top of the second round. Um, they're picking, I think, 33rd overall. But then I have Aiden Hutchinson going to the Detroit Lions. As most predicted already, he's a hometown kid, Michigan kid. Obviously had 14 sacks this season. Was a Heisman finalist. Um, really came on this season. From what I hear, he's a great locker room leader. Was the captain of the defense for the Wolverines. Just overall great player, man. He jumped Kayvon Thibodeau as the number one player in this draft. Um, so he's he's looking like the second best player to go in this draft. Number three overall, I have the Houston Texans. I do not have them drafting Kayvon Thibodeau. I do have them drafting Akeem Iguanu, Icky as they call him. Also because he is, and some people ask the number one overall pick, and getting the number one overall pick at the number three spot was great for the Houston Texans. They do have Larry Tunsil, but with them rebuilding, he's the type of player he is, a veteran who makes a lot right now. It could be very valuable to a contending team, and they could give them a great pick or a great player, and to replace to trade for him with, and just seeing how the Bengals have pieced kind of pieced together their team, a second year quarterback with some great receivers. We just need to um, to protect their quarterback so he can't get the ball to the receivers. They have the Texans do have Brandon Cooks. Um, as well as Mark Ingram at running back and Davis Mills, a young quarterback they're trying to develop. I'm not sure whether they're going to keep doing that or not. Trade down this draft and get one of the quarterbacks in this draft. But if I'm trying to protect them and just use Joe Burrow's struggles far as being sacked and being rushed or whatever like that to motivate them to protect their quarterback first. Anything happens, so once he gets the ball out of his hands to his targets with the number four overall pick. A lot of people probably would say I should go with Cal Hamilton. What just happened? Um, I'm not going with Cal Alberton. I'm actually going to go with Charles Cross, the left tackle out of Mississippi State. Just like I told you before, you guys before, they need to protect uh, their young quarterback, and they definitely need to protect Zach Wilson. They have Makai Becton and Barry Tucker guys who they've drafted the last couple drafts, but that hasn't been enough. Um, Zach Wilson had a solid season before he got hurt. Was having a solid season before he got hurt. Of course, he made his rookie mistakes, but you can see why they drafted him number two overall. They have some solid receivers in Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, and trying to get back to where we are, and other names like that. Mike, here we go. Uh, yes, I have the Jets selecting Charles Cross at number four to protect Zach Wilson. On to number five, the New York Giants. This time they have a couple picks coming up right now, and then also at number seven, I have them drafting Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon, um, edge rusher out of Oregon who could stand up, put his hand in there. It doesn't matter. He's just like get up the quarterback. And after saw what they did with Z. Ojulari out of Georgia last season as a second rounder, second round steal, getting Kayvon as a bookend would be great for the Giants going forward for their future, building up that defensive line. Uh, it's just kind of hard not to pass up on Kayvon, typical special talent like that. Of course, there's corner out there with Stingley and Ahmad Gardner, but of course, Kayvon being one of the top three players in this draft, who could go wrong with that? It could draft the corner with James Badbury deal expiring, but we have better value right now with Thibodeau. Number six overall pick, the Cardinals, not the Cardinals, the Carolina Panthers are drafting here. I don't actually have them drafting here. I actually have them trading this pick to the Texans for um, Deshaun Watson as well as other picks and players. I have the Texans actually taking Kyle Hamilton, um, a complete freak man, over 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, can play in the box, deep free safety, playing coverage. Um, just a complete freak on that side of the ball. Um, and man, that would definitely jumpstart the rebuild of that Houston defense. They have some players already. Uh, so continue to add to that with hot top end talent like that could definitely progress their rebuild a little faster. Um, Coming away with Akeem Iguanu and Kyle Hamilton in the first round would be great for the Texans. I'm sure they'll get a lot of competition for some of the players there. I've talked about trading for like Laramie Tunsil and Deshaun Watson, maybe Brandon Cook as well. Number seven pick, I have the Giants back on the board. Um, like I mentioned earlier, they could definitely go with cornerback, but I'm gonna go with offensive line. They have to protect Daniel Jones if that's the guy they're moving with in the future, and I have them taking Tyler Linderbaum. Since there's not a tackle to pick with that pick, um, he's a best center in this draft. Hopefully, he can play more than just center. but right now he's a pure center prospect right now, and he's elite. And a lot of people, teams like, why would you draft a center at this point? But he definitely could definitely be could prove people wrong, kind of like what Quentin Nelson did a few years ago for um, the Colts. All right, at number eight, I have Ahmad Gardner, cornerback from the from the Cincinnati Bearcats, being drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Um, AJ Terrell has really set the standard for what a Atlanta corner needs to look like after the days of Deion Sanders, Desmond Trufant, um, who else they had over the years, uh, Ray Buchanan, guys like that. So Ahmad Gardner continued to add to the rich history of great cornerback play from the Falcons. Go along with AJ Terrell will be shut down, and then maybe they can get an edge rusher in the second round. Um, with number 9 overall pick, I have the Denver Broncos trading this pick to the Green Bay Packers a for Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers drafting Traylon Burks out of Arkansas, 6'3", 220 pounds, 25 pounds. Um, could be more of a big time, like a big Debo type of player, or AJ Brown type, from what I've heard. So yeah, man, Traylon Burks from Arkansas, we'll definitely see what how fast he is and how he looks in the drill coming coming up next week, or this weekend, at the combine. Um, Traylon Burks had a great season this year in the SEC. So man, he more deserving of this number 9 draft selection. And with number 10 selection, I had the New York Jets selecting. I could go with Derek Stingley. Could what I'm saying, go with Drake London, a receiver. They have a lot of needs. Um, they drafted Charles Cross, number 4 pick, and they definitely could use a guy like Derek Stingley to help out their defense. Now that they have some protection for their quarterback of the future, and uh, Zach Wilson. But yeah, man, Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU, possibly the top-rated corner in this year's draft, had a great freshman season. Uh, okay, sophomore season 2020. We all know what Devontae Smith did to him in the game in the LSU, at the game in the game. This past season was riddled with injuries. Sat the rest of the game. You're out with a foot injury. But yeah, and that was my top ten top 10 mock draft. Please check out the YouTube. Be on the lookout for my YouTube mock draft of the first round. And that was my 2022 mock draft uh, of this season, top 10. If you see some guys up there that you didn't like, or see some guys I'm missing, got any ideas for teams, please let me know in the comment section. You guys have a good night. This has been Sports Talk with KC each and every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Please like, share, and subscribe to Titletown TV on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Apple, Spotify, and whatever you get your Spotify, your podcast needs from. Um, yeah, man, be on the lookout for the first ever Titletown TV community service event, uh, brought to you by me and Lamar Pullum. Peace.